Let's make sure we're unmuted this time, huh? Before I start going crazy. I gotta wait for the stream to catch up. Hold on, here we go. We're gonna check. We're gonna double check. Let's make sure we're unmuted. Holy shit, we remembered. Okay, we remembered this time. We're good. Welcome to the David Atencio Show. I'm David Atencio. I apologize for the late start. We'll leave it here. I apologize for the late start. Had some work issues come up. I had to run into work real quick, but we got her taken care of and we are here. So let me make sure we are all good here. Refresh. We're chilling. Okay, cool. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, maybe not. All right, so first on topics today, just a quick touch for the Israel and Hamas deal, peace deal. I mean, there's nothing crazy that's happened since yesterday, since I talked about it. Just a quick recap. A peace treaty has been, the first phases have started. Israel moves back to a certain, like a set line, kind of, where they have to move back to a set line. Obviously, a ceasefire is going on, and then within the next 48 hours, Gaza has to release prisoners. Alive and dead. They are working on it, getting it figured out. Israel's agreed. They're starting to move their troops back, and it was finally made official. So when I was talking about it yesterday, it wasn't an official deal. It was more of in the talks. Look, this is what's going to happen. This is what's being said. Blah 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 blah. And then today, or I guess at midnight last night, it was fully made official. So obviously that's a good thing. Thankfully, it's coming to an end. A lot of people are talking about Trump and getting a Nobel Peace Prize. I guess we'll wait and see what happens for that. That'd be crazy. We'll wait and see what happens if it goes into effect. If Hamas keeps their side of things. If Israel doesn't start going nuts and bombing them again. But it sounds like Israel's down for the plan. We're just waiting to see if Hamas holds up their end of the deal, which peace is never a bad thing. It's been a 2-year-long war now. It's been going crazy. So we'll see. But I can't even drink a beer today. I've been struggling all day today. All right, so now I'm kind of tripped out because of yesterday. So it's been a 2-year-long war now. We're good. Okay, I just got to double check. I keep tripping out because of yesterday. Next, we got, so back in January of this year, Los Angeles caught fire. It was obviously a big thing. It was one of the worst in California history. On the Palisades, it was, it burned up 23,400 acres of land. So originally it started burning. Fire department went out there, put it out, but it was smoldering. And then, it was like underground smoldering kind of thing. And then it relit and went nuts. Burned up 23,400 acres of land, burned more than 6,800 structures, and 12 people died. They've been investigating it since January. Man was arrested. Finally, the man who they believe started the fire. So his name is John. I'm gonna try this and try and not mess it up. Jonathan Rinderknecht. I'm not good with names. We've learned this by now. But Jonathan Rinderknecht. We'll go Rinderknecht. I got a quick article here. Let's move this. I want to read. We'll go. Maybe. Holy. There we go. All right. So I got a quick article here. I pulled, Los Angeles Daily News. We can go. I have something here. Oh, this was just a quick. I was reading up on the Israel-Palestine thing. So a 29-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of igniting a blaze that led to the Palisades fire, which killed 12 people and damaged or destroyed thousands of structures during an uncommon windstorm that swept through Southern California. Federal authorities announced on Wednesday, October 8th, so yesterday. Jonathan Rinderknecht, who was arrested on Tuesday, was charged in a federal complaint with starting the Lockman fire, a small blaze in the Pacific Palisades. It's going to be one of those days. On New Year's Day, U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley said during a downtown Los Angeles press conference. Despite the fire being believed to have put out by Los Angeles City firefighters, it continued to smolder and burned underground within the root structure of the dense vegetation, reigniting on January 7th during the heavy winds to become the Palisades fire, one of the most destructive fires in Los Angeles history. Then it goes on just kind of talking about different stuff, just kind of how the trial or whatever happened today went. That's him right there. It sounds like he went, actually I think it says it, he spoke in single words. Yeah, it's not really. So it sounds like he went into ChatGPT. Oh, right here. Asked ChatGPT about fault when cigarettes start wildfire. This is the big thing that people are talking about. He asked ChatGPT if he could be held at fault if his cigarette started a wildfire. There was a few different things he asked. Pretty much just questions about fires. But that was the big one, because that's what's being used against him in court, is asking, hey, can I be held at fault when cigarettes start wildfires? I smoke cigarettes, and I was also in California for the Marine Corps, and they do not fucking play. They do not play about cigarettes in California. When I was in the Marine Corps, I got pulled over heading back onto base, and I wasn't even thinking. I was kind of more worried about being pulled over, and I flicked my cigarette out. I shouldn't have done it. This was years and years ago, but flicked it out, and that cop was pissed. They do not fuck around when it comes to anything, any potential wildfire starter like a cigarette. It's a big deal to them. Sorry, wife texts me. But yeah, so it sounds like that's what he was doing, was smoking. But there are also some people out there that are claiming that he intentionally started the fire. I guess obviously the trial they'll figure it out. The investigation's still ongoing, even though they arrested him. The investigation doesn't just stop there. But we will see. We'll see about that. I'll keep following it. Because California's. It's not hard to light California on fire. It really isn't. I mean, we've learned time and time again. There's got to be something they can do. There's got to be better protocols they can have. It happens so often. I mean, it's a terrible thing, but it happens so often. You'd think they'd have better protocols. I mean, Gavin Newsom came under fire for a bunch of different things. I think it was like shortages in the fire department, mismanagement of his water. I mean, there was a whole laundry list of things that they were saying Gavin Newsom, the California governor, was mishandling. And it was, I'm sure everybody remembers that, because it was a big deal. He came under a lot of fire for it. He turned around, said it was being used for political gain, and then other people were like, "No, you're an idiot. It's proofs in the pudding." If you can't manage, if you can't even manage resources, especially something as important as water, I don't think why you're in a position of power is beyond me. But hey, I'm not a governor. I'm not a politician. That's just something that blows my mind. But yeah, they have him arrested. This is the guy. He's being charged with. I don't think the charges have been dropped yet, but we'll see. Witnesses told authorities he was driving for Uber that night and appeared agitated and angry. Yeah, they're probably talking about right here. Some are saying it was like, hey, it's they're trying to say, hey, he did it intentionally. It wasn't an accident. He wasn't just smoking, flicked it out the window. He went out there and started the fire. Said he was evidently. They're trying to say he was a Florida resident, but we'll see. Of Melbourne, Florida. I was charged by federal authorities with destructive property, but he moved after the fire. Shortly after the fire, he moved to Florida. So it sounds like he was a California resident, started the fire, moved to Florida. Obviously, for obvious reasons, trying to get away with it. I mean, this is all alleged. He allegedly started the fire. But it just seems, for some reason, they're big on him hyping up the... they're big on... It seems like they're big on him hyping up he lived in Florida. Part of me wonders if that's more of a... They don't want him to know he was... with all the... It's not looking good for Democrats right now in the political violence sense. And this could be taken like that, even though it had nothing to do politically. But it's just another notch for him. You know, look, you guys are violent. And so it looks like they're really pushing because Florida's mostly a red state. That's just my theory. But I guess he did move to Florida. I think it's just weird that he started, or that they're pushing it so heavily. I mean, this is the monster that started the fire. I don't think it matters whether he lived in California or Florida, but people are going to do what they need to do to push specific things. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, he lived in Melbourne, Florida, but he lived in California, moved to Melbourne, Florida, not Australia. Then investigation ongoing. He was arrested, blah, blah, blah. Being tried, investigation still open, so we'll follow that and we'll see where it goes. And the next, which is my favorite topic I've done so far, Katie Porter. She's currently in Congress, a Democrat member of Congress. She's currently running for California governor, which kind of shows ambition for maybe president in the future or something bigger, you know. But we'll see where it goes. I don't think she's winning this race, but she's currently, you know, a Democratic nominee for the governor of California. Well, I don't know why I went full face. I looked into it with it just being a story of an interview, and it turns out she's something. Well, we'll look here. We'll look here because she's. This is just insane to me. So we'll watch the original story I was gonna talk about. She did an interview. We'll touch base on this real fast, and we'll go over it. It's a long interview, so I'm gonna play it in 1.5. Okay, shut up. 1.5 speed. Pretty much the gist. She's doing an interview. Didn't like it was the way it was going and quit. But she wasn't being asked hard questions. It was a simple question, and she couldn't handle it. When the interviewer says, as you hear, says. Every other nominee has answered these same exact questions, and she just started panicking and freaking out. You'll see here. It's honestly hilarious.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters? What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
You just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I need them to win.
So you don't
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not...
And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I've never had to do
reporter.
this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
an
the
reporter?
reporter? Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of... I'm me. I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make.
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just...
There it is. I mean, the video kind of explains itself. If you're a politician... Okay, so, like I said, quick rundown of the video, if it was too fast for you. Pretty much what she was trying to ask a simple question. I don't think it's that hard of a question. It sounds like Katie Porter got the questions beforehand, and she was expecting it to be verbatim, or maybe her team sent questions, or no, it sounds like that CBS had the questions, sent them to her so she could prep, and then she didn't have it, or she asked follow-up questions, and so Katie was like, well, what the hell, that wasn't on the list I was given, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, and she started freaking out and panicking. She came up with some bullshit answer, and then when the journalist was like, well, that doesn't make sense, what about blah 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 blah, she started panicking and pretty much was like, you know what, I'm not doing this, you're being argumentative, this is a problem, I'm not doing this, I'm good, no thank you, I'm good, I'd rather not. And the journalist was like, whoa, what the hell, everybody else has answered this, and she's like, well, I'm not. And her saying right there, ask the question how it was written. Journalist, turn the paper. I am asking how it was written. You answered. I asked a follow up. You know, every other candidate hasn't had a problem with it. And her right here. Oh, I should have. Her is supposedly the front runner for California governor. If she wins, just based off this video alone, not the rest of the stuff I'm going to show you, just based off this video alone, California's screwed. They're looking to be pretty bad. I feel as a politician, you shouldn't be allowed to get your questions. If you're going to be a politician, especially in important races like the governor, the president, you shouldn't be allowed to send the questions. Like the big thing for Kamala Harris was she wouldn't do interviews or podcasts or anything like that without getting the questions first. That's why she wasn't on very many, because not very many people were willing to send her, okay, this is verbatim, second by second, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to ask, blah 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 blah. And I mean, that's a perfect showcase right there. She was sent the questions. They went off script, not by a lot, because CBS is a mainly left leaning news reporting program. So it's not like they put her in a tough spot. It was an easy question, and she went a little bit off script and struggled and panicked and threw a temper tantrum. I mean, she's like, I'm not going to do this. I want to have a good experience. I don't want to argue with you. And the interviewer here was pretty much just saying, hey, they was pretty much saying, hey, look, everybody else asked this question. I'm trying to do my job. I'm a investigative reporter. I asked everybody else this question. Now it's your turn. Blah blah blah. Let's just stick to the question. I'm gonna ask follow-ups. It's my job. And she anything that doesn't go her way, you could see her throw a little bit of a temper tantrum there, and then immediately tried to shut it down. And the reporter did a really good job by continuing to ask the same questions. Hey, no, I'm not gonna let you go. What the hell are we doing here? There's no need for this. Just answer my question. It's not a hard question. It's a simple question. And she just refused. She threw a tantrum. She didn't like it. Got upset. And it sounds like she's just an adult crybaby. Is pretty much what it is. And then I read this. Because I found this video. And then I read this, and it kind of made me look into it a little more. Someone who used to work with Katie Porter sent me this clip from a train wreck interview with her and said, now imagine what she's like when there aren't any cameras around. And so I was like, huh, that's weird. Is there I didn't know, is there something I'm missing here? What's going on? All I did, you can see right here, all I looked up was Katie Porter. That is the only thing I looked up. And I found I found a lot more than this, but these are the ones that stood out to me. So we'll start with this one. So they're talking about, so this is, okay, I'm trying to explain it. We'll just read through it. So this is between Katie, the Grays and Katie. I don't know why I'm pointing at my screen like you can see. The Gray is Katie. Oh my god, I started to panic. Okay. I thought I made an uh-oh again. We're good. Okay. The gray is Katie. The blue is her old worker. And so pretty much what happened, we'll read it. So, why did you not follow office protocol on testing? It's really disappointing. This was back during COVID. I'm terribly sorry. You're right. I should have done better. Just because I felt okay in the moment doesn't mean that I was. And then she said Sasha, which I'm assuming is is obviously the employee's name. I cannot allow you back in the office, given your failure to follow I cannot allow you back in the office, given your failure to follow office policies. Cody will be in touch, which I'm assuming is another employee, about having your personal effects shipped or delivered to your home, and will lay out your remote work schedule and responsibilities for your last few weeks. So pretty much saying, hey, you're pretty much gone. And then she replies, I understand. Thank you for the last 2 years and all that I have learned. I hate to have disappointed you in this manner, as I know it isn't an excuse. I had found out my friend from the Navy had been murdered, and my head was not in the best place. Not an excuse, but the reasoning for the lack of forethought. I appreciate everything this office has done for me. So her friend in the Navy was murdered, so she wasn't in the right. I mean, you lose your friend dies. You're not going to be in the right headspace. You're going to make lapse in judgments, which this is making this big of a deal out of something like this to begin with is insane. Her friend in the Navy was murdered, and she said her head was not in the space. She's obviously super apologetic. And then she said, well, you gave me it completely disregard everything she said. Well, you gave me COVID. In 25 months, it took you not following the rules to get me sick. My children have nobody to care for them. So, I mean, it's one of those. Her friend in the Navy was murdered, and your first thing is, oh, well, you got me sick. I'm sick now. Poor me. Poor me. Oh my God. This is just so bad for me. This is terrible for me. And, it seems like this woman all around is batshit. I mean, we'll watch this in a second. You find out, I mean, common decency, you find out that her friend dies. The first thing you say is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. How are you? Are you okay? Are you doing good? But instead you turn it around and you're, oh, poor me. You got me sick. Now my children have nobody to care for them. Which is, that's just insane to me. Maybe I'm in the wrong here. But a decent human being is going to be checking on her, not firing her. Because Cody will be in touch about having your personal effects shipped or delivered to your home. Won't even let her come into the office to get her stuff. I understand she has COVID. She's sick. Maybe, hey, in a week or two, and if there's anything important you need, we can drop it off at your house. But the rest of it, you can come get when you're feeling better. No, you're not allowed here. Go the hell home. This is the front runner for the California state governor. This is who Democrats are backing. She just seems insane. Based on that interview, based on this, and based on the next video I'm going to show you, this is who California's governor the race for the governor's front runner is. And this is who Democrats support. This is crazy to me. Her no remorse, no empathy, nothing. Just does not give a fuck. It seems like all she does is throw tantrums, get upset if things don't go her way, and that's what you want in a governor. That she's a sitting congresswoman. How is that allowed? How are her sitting in these Congress meetings? She reminds me of those women, the Karens or whatever they're called. So you see sitting on, you see in those videos. It wouldn't shock me if she's been in a few of them. I mean, she's how old? Let's see how old she is. If I could type. Katie Porter, she's 51 and she's acting like a child. Obviously she's being a bitch. There's no way around it. And this, she's acting like just a straight up child. And then you have this one where she again throws another temper tantrum. So we saw her tantrum here. We saw her treating her employees like shit, and now she's throwing another this is both. She's throwing a temper tantrum and treating an employee like shit.
Dying prematurely
to air dying prematurely, to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot. Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm gonna start again with all.
Okay, one more time. Employee comes in.
To air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
So she's sitting there, she's talking. I understand it's frustrating. You're trying to get something done. An employee comes in, ruins it, right? Whatever. It's frustrating. It's. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, it's probably frustrating, but turn around. It's your employee. They work for you. If you want to keep employees, you've got to keep them happy. And multiple have come out after working for her, obviously, because they didn't want to have her come burn her house down because they spoke out against her. But multiple employees have came out and said, hey, look, this is insane. She's psycho. She's treats everybody like shit. She's a shitty person, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, it's frustrating. I'm not going to lie. If you're sitting there doing something, a noise happens in the background that makes you lose your train of thought. Somebody walks in behind you, stuff like that. But that's when you turn around. Hey, I'm trying to do this. I need you to back up for a second. She obviously had something to say to her, and she could have. Okay, what's up? Okay, cool. I need you to get out of here, please. Let me do this, and then we'll talk more. Instead, she's immediately get out of my fucking shot and start throwing a temper tantrum like a child. And then this is just 3 videos. Two videos and text messages that I've found. Like I said, we'll look at it again. Katie Porter, that is all I researched, and this is the first few things I saw. I didn't even really look that deep. I just found these 3, looked at a couple more, called her a day. She is 51 years old, acting like a toddler. I've seen toddlers act better than she has. And this is who California wants running their state. This is who is in Congress. I mean, it's insane to me. How can you be 51 years old acting like this, treating your employees like this? People, like I said, people have come out and said she's a shitty person to work with. She's the worst. She's a boss. She's a psycho. She acts like one of those entitled, privileged people. I don't know how she came up, but she acts like one of those kids who grew up with money and now thinks they're better than everybody, and she's more important than everybody, and everybody should bow down and lick her toes, and that's how she acts between this interview, these texts, and this one. And I mean, I'm sure if I look here, we'll just look up Katie Porter again. So that's what I found. That's what I just showed. That's the interview. Oh, that's a meme. I was so confused for a second what Pelosi was doing there. Okay, I kind of want to watch it now. We're gonna.
My fucking shot. Get out of my fucking shot. Get out of my fucking shot.
What is happening?
Get out of my fucking shot.
Okay, that's not as funny as I thought it was gonna be. Okay, all I'm seeing now are the interviews because that's what went viral. Or that's what is going viral right now. But seen shooting death stares at her staff. I need the lights off, the bright lights. I need you to turn these off that are killing me, not that dark.
To turn these off. These that are killing me. Hang on 1 second, everybody. Yes, we should have. Yes. Okay, everybody, I'm not that dark.
Oh, she's angry. You see that? Look at that. That's the face a toddler makes when they don't get their way. It really is. She's just an way overgrown toddler. I mean, soon Trump will lose or go to prison, whatever. But yeah, that's all she is an overgrown toddler. And this is who California wants running their state. She's allegedly the front runner. I don't know. I mean, it's also a Democrat state, so the polls never really tell the truth. But as of right now, news reports are saying she's the front runner, and you got a governor acting like that. Insane. If she wins this election, like I said before, California's going to shit. It's not gonna be a fun time had by anybody. But we'll watch and hope and pray that she doesn't win, because that's just gonna be a terrible ordeal for everybody involved. That's not gonna be good. That's not. It's a governor acting like that, treating people like that. That's gonna be a bad ordeal. But like I said, we'll see how it plays out. But that is all I had today. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully on time. We'll see how work goes. Tomorrow I got a lot of stuff to do, so we'll see. Might be a few minutes late, but we'll keep it around 8 o'clock. I mean, today we weren't too late. We got here, what, 8:15, 8:20 is when the countdown started. So, but I appreciate everybody. I hope everybody, let me pull this forward. I hope everybody has a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Deuces.